Hi there. Welcome to episode 3 of the last great Stanley Cup Finals as we review the 2011 Stanley Cup Finals between the Vancouver Canucks and Boston Bruins on the 10-year anniversary of each game. On this episode, we are pleased to be joined by SYP creator, my brother Neal McNaughton, to discuss the Bruins' 8-1 thrashing of the Canucks in Game 3 at TD Garden. While the conversation does go off the rails at some point, it's an awesome listen, and I'm glad we could get him on for an episode. Big thanks to Neal for taking the time to do this, and a big thanks to everyone who has taken the time to listen or watch. Enjoy! All right, welcome to episode 3 of the last great Stanley Cup Finals. My name is Ian McNaughton. Joining me for this episode is my brother Neal. Neal, how are you doing?
Doing okay. Thanks for having me in. It's a privilege and an honor.
Well, I'm glad you could make it on. We're discussing the 2011 Stanley Cup Finals between the Boston Bruins and the Vancouver Canucks, the team on your hat, so you at least show some interest level, some knowledge.
Yep.
Die hard. When I bring up the 2011 Stanley Cup Finals, what's the thing that stands out in your mind the most from that series?
The Bobby Lou posters.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you could see how tall you were.
Like in the program, like when you got.
No, is that where people got? I don't know. I just remember other people had them, and I was jealous.
Well, when you go to Canucks, I don't know if they still do it, but like in the Canucks games where you got a program. It wasn't even. It was like a smaller.
No, you know the one I'm talking about. The fucking.
The
poster, life-size poster on the wall. You could measure up, like how tall am I next to Bobby Lou?
Not fan graphs. There's another term, but there's another actual proper name for it. But anyway, so that's okay. So that's what you remember the most from 2011. Who is your favorite player among both teams?
Probably Maxim Lapierre.
Oh God.
And Tim Thomas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you like him for his political leanings?
No, that was actually sad. Did you see what came out recently about him?
No, I haven't.
He's only just started like texting people again. Like he went totally off. He said it was due to brain damage.
Yeah,
he reached out to like Tuukka Rask and a few guys, but I guess he had like I don't know. I think it was so damaged I don't know what part, but a major part of his brain wasn't functioning the way it should have been.
Yeah, he's had that was kind of, I think, part of his NHL career's demise was just like it seemed like he was bouncing around from place to place. He didn't have any
Well, I think he suffered a big injury when he was in Florida after he left Boston. But yeah, no, Tim Thomas would definitely be the memorable one for me.
I was gonna say he didn't. Part of it was just he didn't have the stable placehold like he did in Boston.
No, he had brain damage.
Well, yeah.
He took a hit to the head and he had brain damage.
Yeah. So. Let's go through Game 3. We're discussing the Bruins' 8-1 victory over the Vancouver Canucks. We'll go. So the first period. We'll discuss the first. We'll go through each period. First period, no goals. It was tied 0-0 after 20 minutes. The big play from the first period was Aaron Rome's hit on Nathan Horton. Horton skated over the blue line. He already distributed a puck, and then Rome.
Can you pull that up? I don't recall it.
Yeah, I'll pull that up for you.
Let me have a gander real quick.
Sure, pull that up, Jamie. So let's see if we can show you the.
Aaron Rome was the big bald fuck, right?
If that's how you want to. If that's how you want to describe him as. No, he might have played on Montreal for a little bit, but anyway. So here's the hit coming up.
Pull that back, Jamie.
Yeah, we'll go back here and. So you can see, we can't obviously show it on the video, but here's the Horton hit as he's just going over the blue line.
So late.
A really, really bad hit. Let's see if we can try and slow it down if they'll show it, to show the replay of it. Horton already distributed a puck, like an extra second after.
Is there an argument being made in hockey talking about the shoulder pads and their effects on hits like that? Because that's just brutal.
No, there has not been, but it's interesting now when as we record this, you saw the Scheifele hit the other night on Jacob Evans in the Winnipeg-Montreal series about just guys going out of their way just to smother dudes.
Yeah, so and that was the turning point in the game, if not even the series.
Yeah, that's what when you ask a lot of Boston fans and a lot of Bruins writers,
just got Brad and the boys fired up. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like we're now playing for Nathan. This is now for Nathan.
And so Aaron Rome is obviously he was reprimanded for that.
Yeah, so pretty much he got a 5-minute major interference, ejected from the game. He got a game misconduct.
Okay.
He was handed a suspension, a 4-game suspension. So pretty much suspended for the rest of the series because this was game 3. So he wasn't allowed to play in any. If there were going to be any more games, he wasn't allowed to play in any more games in the finals.
That's tough for him, eh? What a mistake.
That's a pretty bonehead decision on his end. Also, did not help the Canucks considering that Dan Hamhuis was not playing because he injured himself. Somebody else injured himself. The Canucks were low on D. Like they were getting to like the 7th, 8th D men on the team.
Oh, geez, so yeah, they're stretched now.
Stretching it out, and then Aaron Rome's just like, let me just hit this dude late as he's coming over the blue line.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes. Second period is when we finally got some scoring. We got Andrew.
Oh, fucking Rafi Torres, too, man. I take that back. He was probably my favorite.
Yeah, Rafi Torres.
He'd have to be.
We discussed in the second episode of the series about how, if Rafi Torres and Maxi, because they're on the same line together for the Canucks, but like 10 years ago, right?
Wow.
If they were on the same line in 2021, how many games would it be until one of them was either A, suspended, B, both of them suspended, or C, just any supplemental discipline whatsoever?
If I'm not, I am probably mistaken that like Rafi Torres wasn't quite as offensively talented as Zach Kassian, but was he not kind of Zach Kassian before Zach Kassian?
Kassian, I think it's more skill.
Yeah, but Torres, he still put up a few points.
He got a few goals.
I'll pull up his stats, Jamie.
So Rafi,
gotta inform myself mid podcast.
Yeah, no. Rafi Torres will pull up his hockey DB for you. So pretty much all the
okay. So that was the AHL.
Yeah,
he still had a 41-point season with the Oilers. That's decent. But when the time came to play with the Canucks, he had 29 points.
He had just one season with the Canucks and
14 goals though. Anyhow.
So there's your Rafi Torres stats updates. But we go to the second period. Boston gets 4 goals in a period. Andrew Ference gets on the score sheet. Mark Recchi gets a power play goal. Brad Marchand scores shorthanded. A beautiful shorthanded goal. I could pull that up.
Yeah, so like. Look at that.
Marchand with the beautiful shorthanded goal. Shorthanded goal. Yeah, here it is. So this is the shorty from Marchand. So he obviously picks the pockets of one of the Canucks, throws it off the boards, gets around the other guy, patiently waits in. And
pretty piss poor goaltending there from Bobby Lou, but a nice finish nonetheless.
The whole play I thought was nice with Marchand, like the whole stealing the guy on.
This is a good sequence.
Good sequence.
Reminds me of myself that one game in Juvie.
This Neal's Juvie section of the podcast.
Realistically, we should get Corey on here to review goalies.
He'll probably just go off about how bad Jordan Pickford is or somebody like that.
That'd be funny.
So yeah, Marchand gets the shorty. That's the 3rd goal of the game for the Bruins. And then David Krejci gets the 4th goal for the Bruins in the second period. That's probably when you need, probably the Marchand goal when it's 3-0 and they score on the shorty. That's when you, I think, knew if you were a Canucks fan that this game's probably out of reach. You're probably not coming back down 3-0.
Well, I guess now you're just trying to salvage it before really things. You're trying to salvage it because it's a playoff series. You don't really want to lose a game 8-1. But I don't know.
The third is when everything just falls apart for the Canucks. The Bruins get 4 more goals, including a Daniel Paille shorthanded goal. Yannick Hansen gets on the board for Vancouver, so at least they're not shut out in this game.
Mm-hmm.
But then Mark Recchi gets his 2nd of the night. Chris Kelly gets a goal for the Bruins, and then Michael Ryder tops it off with a power play goal with about 30 seconds left to go in the game to really just, stick it to the Canucks pretty much on home ice in game 3. to cut the series to a 2-1 deficit for the Bruins. Total penalty minutes in the game. I want to see if I can find that for you about PIM, but there was a lot, especially in the third period.
There was some fights in the third, I presume, eh?
Do you want to see? You want to see if I can just pull that up for you, and you can just.
Well, no, the hockey fights are usually pretty boring, really. Hockey fights aren't much different than basketball fights, really. Like they get a couple shots in, maybe, but most of the time they just miss. What do you think the actual percentage would be? Like shots landed for shots thrown. I feel like it'd be pretty piss poor.
I can't imagine it's that
They
good.
shouldn't be allowed to grab each other's jerseys in fights. Is really what should not be allowed.
They shouldn't be allowed to grab the jersey.
Yeah, no. It's like you gotta get the BX Superman punch. Actually, he might have had his hand on his jersey when that happened. I can't recall.
Yeah, that might have been the case. Yeah, I can't pull up the actual brawls or fights.
Well, regardless, they fought. That was that.
They fought. A lot of penalty minutes, a lot of misconducts. So the Bruins, again, they got their first win of the series. They won 8-1. Overall thoughts on this game? Just, you can either say from a Boston perspective, from a Vancouver perspective.
Well, I mean, I guess maybe it's because we weren't, I don't know how you put it, like, we weren't Canucks fans, so I can definitely remember bugging people at school about it who were Canucks fans, because everybody was a Canucks fan.
Yeah.
And I didn't really care one way or the other. I remember, what was it there? But just kind of being a little bit happy to see, an 8-1 win. Like, maybe we do have a series on our hands.
We talked about it on earlier episodes about how, like, if you go back and you look, like, the Canucks won a President's Trophy, best record in the league. They've been doing really well in the postseason.
Isn't that a thing too? Didn't they touch it or something? So everyone got all pissed.
No, I don't think either team touched their conference trophies. When you have the Wales or the Campbell, and you're not supposed to touch it. I don't think either one of them. I haven't gone back and checked, but I don't think either one of them did. I was gonna say what I remember from Game 3 was just the kind of the highs and lows of confidence where the Canucks fans thought they were gonna win this series with ease. It seemed like going up against Boston.
What were the scores from the first two games?
1-0 for the Canucks in Game 1, and then 3-2 in overtime in Game 2.
Okay, so I don't know if they necessarily say they were confidently going to win it, but they definitely did have confidence behind them.
Yes, and
that's only a 2-goal difference in 2 games. That's pretty feasible.
And then, we will discuss this later on because you wanted to talk about this, because the goaltending battle was obviously pretty evident.
Magnificent.
Was pretty evident in Game 1 and 2, between 1-0 and 3-2 overtime. It's not quite as noticeable in the 8-1 game.
Well, see, that was the thing is I noticed just briefly glancing at the stats from the game. The Canucks had 41 shots on goal. They had 3 more shots on goal than the Bruins.
Yeah.
Timmy fucking Thomas stood on his head it was beautiful. I don't know what happened to Bobby Lou. What did he get pulled in the 4th or 5th?
I can pull that up. I can't remember for sure.
But I mean,
he played the full 60 minutes.
They Patrick Wadham, eh?
Pretty much they Wadham.
Yeah, nice. Alain. So I'd say Luongo. I mean, obviously the scenarios are probably different, but I mean, same amount of penalty minutes, same amount of shots. The Canucks won 10 more faceoffs than them. So I don't really understand that. I mean, I'd have to watch the game, obviously, but it sounds to me like Bobby Lou let us all down.
I think part of it too is just the momentum swing for the Bruins after the Horton hit, where the Bruins were just like, yeah, we're gonna beat you.
Yeah. Maybe is that what happened? All the Canucks guys were like, man, we feel bad. You guys have this one. Sorry, man. Aaron shouldn't have done that, man. We don't even like him, man.
This was a mistake. We'll gift you this one. It'll be interesting when we talk about Game 4, and because then the Bruins won 4-0, and then
I bet you Bobby Lou fucking bet on it. He probably looked at the odds and said, "Damn, man."
If I take the Bruins money line in this game,
we're up 2 right now. It's 75% chance at winning the series. Well, who's his brother he played poker with? Well, I went to Vegas.
I don't know about
Stanley Cup bonus. He looked at it. He said, "How much do I get on the bonus winning the cup compared to if I bet on the Bruins winning? I'll give up 8." They probably tried to pull him. He said, "No, guys, no, leave me in."
Guys, I got this.
I wouldn't want Corey coming in here and fucking it up for us.
Can I just say, I was gonna save this for later on, but I'll talk about this now. What was longer, did Corey Schneider play more minutes in this series, or did the Canucks lead this series more? So Schneider's time on ice, was it greater or lower than the actual Canucks lead, like
time with the lead?
Time with the lead.
I'm gonna assume that the Canucks with the lead.
It was not. It was Corey Schneider had played 60 minutes. Who
played the first 2 games?
Luongo.
And Schneider still wow. Bobby Lou bet on the series. You heard it here first.
The actual time that the Canucks led it.
Hey, what do you call a guy with a rubber toe? Roberto.
Do you want to get into any of the other, like, I have some other, like, best moments of the game. Yannick Hansen with a fairly clean hit on Thomas Caberlet. Tim Thomas stopping Mason Raymond after a beautiful toe drag. That doesn't say drag my nose, but that's okay. I thought Marchand's shorthanded goal was one of the Dave Bolin best moments of the game. I put Dave Bolin. It's either Bolin or Maxime Talbot. I just have Bolin because those guys, obviously, the peak of their career was in a finals game. There's a guy. I mean, I thought the fight, the conflict was what made this whole series, and like especially this game, really good. Was just the conflict, the animosity, which you don't see.
You can't write a story much better than that. Big, massive hit. The guy leaves, brain damage that'll affect him after his playing career.
Yeah, that's really.
We come back and win the cup for him.
Yeah, that was really too bad with Nathan Horton too, where
he didn't play much after that.
No, he never was the same after that.
Aaron Rome was suspended 4 games.
Yeah.
Although I don't criminally charged.
Although I don't know if
assault.
I don't know if Aaron Rome actually got a whole That's actually a fun thing I could search up. It's just like who played more games after that hit, Nathan Horton or Aaron Rome.
Well, it's amazing even just looking at some of these names, how much more physical guys used to be even 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like you don't have a lot of players like that on the team now, do you?
No, especially nowadays where hockey, like analytics have gotten into hockey where it's like we need 3 scoring lines and then maybe 1 physical line. Whereas back in the day, like you could have like 2 scoring lines and like your third line was your checking line.
Yeah.
Or, a lot of your top 6 forwards could bring a lot of grit and physicality as well, like the Jerome McGinley's of the world, right?
Yeah.
But now, like nowadays, it's all pretty much just skill, cycle, getting pucks on net. It's not quite the same as it used to be, but that's why I wanted to talk about the series and just how, like, especially this game, it's just the animosity, the conflict, the hatred. Like by the time, like after game 3, it's like, okay, we got ourselves a series on hand because these guys hate each other.
Well, yeah, and that was where I guess this is where the rivalry between the teams arose.
The incidents you can look on was, I think, the Burrows biting incident. I think Milan, like Lucic scoring in Vancouver in game 2.
Being from Vancouver as well. He
Vancouver Giant.
Yeah.
Like that sort of.
Yeah. There was definitely a rivalry there that went on for a few years afterwards even.
Yeah, and he, felt disrespected because he thought the Canucks should have drafted him and they didn't, and he went to go play in Boston and all this sort of stuff. And then game 3, the Horton hit, I think, was another factor in just these 2 teams just butting heads.
Quite a few things at play.
Yeah, it's quite a few things at play. I have Steve Smith's worst moments of the game. Steve Smith was, I don't know if you know, the guy from the Edmonton Oilers who put the puck in his own net in a playoff game against the Flames and cost them a series.
No, I hadn't heard of him.
Anyways.
No, I think I have maybe.
You probably
seen it. Gretzky days?
Yeah, Gretzky days. Like back in the 80s.
Yeah, okay.
Back when there was no advertising on the boards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have so if you look at the overhead camera at TD Garden, they show it a bunch of times on the NBC feed. There's a whole bunch of flies flying around, and it's just like you can tell it's a summer day and it's hot. It's just annoying seeing a bunch of flies flying around when it's supposed to be a hockey game, and I don't like to see flies interrupting the camera, but that's just me. I was gonna say the other thing that reminded me of was 1988 Stanley Cup Finals between the Bruins and the Oilers. So basically, they had to cancel the game that was at Boston Garden, which I believe was Game 4 because of fog. Like the fog was just so bad in the arena that like even the players tried to get rid of it with towels, and it just wasn't gonna go away. So then they played the rest of the series in Edmonton, and the Oilers won the cup. But
okay, that was a while ago.
Yeah, that was 88. Then there was another thing with a power outage at the Boston Garden.
Okay.
So this is like the old garden. This isn't this isn't a new garden. This is like where the old floor at the Boston Garden, which apparently just used to be like absolute shit by the time they left. And the
ice.
The ice was
I'm confused.
The court with the Celtics.
Yeah.
And then the ice. So they actually had a smaller configuration for the garden.
Okay.
Like nowadays, every ice rink is like 200 by 85 feet.
Okay, I don't mean to cut you off. How does this pertain to the 2011 finals?
Oh, I'm just talking about like going back to like other stadium, like Boston stadium issues.
Okay, but it's not even TD Garden.
No, this is the old Boston Garden.
Okay, fair enough.
Let me just go on my like.
Hey, you do you, brother.
Let me just go. This is my podcast. No, but do you have any garden memories in Boston?
Oh, was it Danny Ainge just quit the Celtics because they stepped on the leprechaun and he got pissed? He's what the heck, man? I can't connect to the players anymore. They don't care about the You think Danny Ainge is a nationalist?
I'm probably gonna clip that and post that on the SYP Instagram.
Danny Ainge benches players if they don't eat Lucky Charms.
Trades them if they're the wrong Irish.
How do you spell your last name?
I'm glad the Bruins aren't like that. The Bruins are just, eats their lunch out of the pail, drinks a beer after work.
Well, I was gonna say most Boston people don't play hockey, but compared to basketball. But
there's probably some truth to that.
Privileged sport.
That was kind of my take on the old school garden, the new school garden. Why is it Toronto Dominion Garden? Why is it TD? I get that it's sponsorship, but why would you want the Toronto?
I was gonna say, who owns TD? Is it not an American company? Probably.
I thought it was Canadian, but I'm gonna.
Well, it probably was at one point, but like when
Canadians don't own anything now.
Canadians don't own Canada.
Yeah. Now this is just getting political. I can't find anything. Their headquarters are in Toronto, but I can't find.
Maybe they're Canadians.
It is one of the two big five banks. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Wikipedia.
Tabarnak. It is one of the two
big five banks in Canada.
Fair enough. So back to 2011.
Let's
back to the topic at hand.
Other worst moments from this game. I have the Rome hit on Horton. That's also a really bad moment. Just dirty hit. Could have been avoidable. Changed the series and the history of the Canucks. The other thing I have was a Ferris tripping penalty. Don't guys know to just not trip other players?
How menacing of him.
I know. I also
who's coaching the Bruins?
Claude Julien.
Oh yeah. And then the Canucks had Alain
Vigneault.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Who GM of the Bruins at the time was Peter Chiarelli. That means anything to you?
Martin Shkreli?
Nope, not okay. All right. All right. Another category I have is Pierre Maguire / NBC mic checks.
Yes.
And this is all some of the stuff that they said during the game. I haven't.
Everybody's ticked off at everybody else.
Yes.
Doc Emmerich, okay.
That's 702.
Progress made, and then there was none. I've been in meetings like that, though not at this network. This Doc Emmerich guy's pretty funny, actually.
Yes, Doc Emmerich's really good.
That would make Tim Wakefield awfully proud. That thing was knuckling from about 60 feet to 6 inches. These Boston commentators are awesome.
They're just the American national.
American.
Yeah. I figured anytime you could get like a meetings joke, especially in today's world about having to meet online, and a take Tim Wakefield comment into a game, I think you're doing really well.
Well, those are three. I mean, that's the thing is you only get three, right? So that's a bit tough.
I
think for myself personally, that's probably my biggest how'd you put it?
Gripe with.
Yeah, my biggest gripe, my biggest peeve with sports is the commentating. Like, it's so brutal to watch. Don't get me wrong, I don't support Don Cherry. I don't think that he's really the way to go either. He's a bit boring and senile, but you need some entertainment. Get PFT commentator on a game. Liven it up a bit.
Well, now the NHL's going to TNT, right?
The NHL is going to TNT. Yeah, I see Stephen A. Smith talking about it.
Yeah, what do you think about Stephen A. Smith covering hockey?
Not for me. I don't like Stephen A. Smith.
No, okay.
Anything. Well, he does a decent enough job, I guess, right?
Well, now Gretz is going to be apparently like covering games on TNT.
Gretzky.
Yeah.
That's one of the dopiest people to listen to. Why would anyone want to?
No, that's what they think. They think he's going to be great on American television. They think he's going to.
Well, he will. He's just like everybody else that does it.
No,
so boring.
He'll be great.
So boring.
That's why I wanted to pick the NBC feed, by the way, because I like Doc Emmerich and I like Eddie Olczyk and Pierre Maguire. There is a thing in Game 2 about how they're promoting the Rugby Sevens Collegiate Championships on NBC.
Okay.
In Game 2, so this was on 10 years ago, and this was on NBC, so they're doing a promo, right? Yeah. And Pierre Maguire just said about how rugby has some weird positions. There's a guy called a hooker, and he plays on the outside, which is not true at all. Hookers are on the inside anyways, but he just wanted to say that during the game, because they're doing the promo. It's like, this is the one thing I know about rugby. Here you go. There's a lot more I could talk about, especially when you get to the fights, and especially when you get to some of the stuff in the third period. But that's all the stuff I could fit in the time frame. But
I think the biggest problem is I think commentating is definitely an old boys club for sure.
Yeah,
I think it's problematic. Like, these guys take themselves too seriously. That they don't talk like that. If they're watching the game.
Well, the other thing we've had discussions about in hockey, or at least Elliot Friedman, who is Sportsnet insider.
Okay.
Who's down on if you watch the NBA on TNT, right?
Yeah.
Shaq has no idea who the ninth man for the Grizzlies is. Nobody knows. But if you get a fourth liner wrong on the Anaheim Ducks, then you're a fucking idiot, and you get told that in the comment section for a whole day. Yeah. And it's just that's the difference between the hockey community compared to the basketball community.
Well, but the thing is I guess, how do you put it? There's humor in that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain realness to there's a certain lightheartedness to the basketball commentating. Terry Rozier. It's fun. It's meant to be fun. The hockey guys, it's not fun. It's just boring.
Well, what about Jack Edwards, who's the actual Bruins local guy, who just says some of the
stuff. He's probably decent in Boston.
Very, very homerish, very this guy's a wimp when he's talking about to another guy, another team's player who won't get up after a hit. Get up!
That's the way it ought to be. When they're doing they're singing the national anthem, I want the commentator to scream fight as well, you know what I mean? The American national anthem.
I think it's just an Everett thing. I don't know how many people
it should be a universal thing, I think, but maybe I'm mistaken.
Any other hot?
I apologize. I don't know fuck all about the 2011.
No. This is good. This is good. This is a really good.
Worst possible guest.
No, this is a really good podcast. But do you have any other thought? Do you remember the CBC guys? Scott Oak, who like is now
Scott Oak, yeah,
he's doing Sportsnet stuff now. Jim Houston, Craig Simpson. You remember those?
Is there
guys?
a single guy that commentates sports that's under? Let's be nice and even say under 40.
There's a couple of guys that you wouldn't like. Joe Davis is a guy I like who works for Fox in the States, and he does like college football, baseball, some golf content.
It's another sport that should be banished.
No.
So many, yeah. Anyhow,
No other.
The worst possible guy to have on a sports podcast. Period, probably.
Any other notes on broadcasters, hockey broadcasters, hockey commentators?
Does Joe Buck commentate hockey? Because that's a guy that they need to get doing everything and let him loose. Don't give him any don't give him don't give him any. Hey Joe, this is what we're pushing today. Let him run wild. No scripting.
Well, I told you my idea. He, I think his dad used to call hockey back in the day, but they got him like as a special guest appearance at a Blues game because he's from St. Louis. Oh, yeah. They got him as a like he got the like.
He played baseball. Joe Buck, he played baseball.
I think he played baseball.
Yeah.
Not as a player, but not major league. Like I don't think like he got like maybe
look
college.
It up. Jamie.
I'm gonna pull that up. I've told you my idea. I think it'd be great for hockey is if you put the NHL on HBO. You should put the finals on HBO or Netflix or just something where the commentators are.
Joe Buck's not the one I'm thinking of.
Oh, who's the guy you're thinking of?
Who's the Blue Jays commentator with the fucking white hair?
Buck Martinez?
Buck Martinez.
Him doing that?
He's awesome.
He used to play a catcher for the Blue Jays.
That's okay, yeah. That's what I'm thinking of.
He'd be really good.
Yeah, no, commentating.
I don't know if he's done hockey.
Commentating the sport sucks, I think, all around. They're all a bunch of bums. They're boring as hell and take themselves way too seriously. Just about every single one of them.
But you like to take Tim Wakefield comment.
Yes, the Tim Wakefield comment's good. That Doc Emmerich guy, he's got potential, I reckon.
He's retired.
Oh, yeah, sure, that makes sense. Even these sports shows, they're exactly like the same thing as every other mainstream media where it's just like controversial opinions. Have you seen the clips of like Stephen A. Smith flip-flopping back and forth just to say whatever is more controversial?
No, but that's how those sports shows do.
It's the same. It's the same as news shows.
Well, no, when you go to when you do the morning meeting or whatever, when you do the planning for the show or like the prep show or whatever for the actual show, where it's like, okay, whose side are you on this time? Like, what side are we each taking this time? Yeah. And that goes for like hockey.
So like it's just a shame. I don't know. It takes away from it. It takes away from it for me.
Pretty much, yeah. You wanted to go off on the goaltending one more time about the
Tim Thomas
and or Luongo, if you want to talk about those guys.
Bobby Lou. I don't know.
Do you think Luongo was even that good of a goalie?
Yeah, you got to give him his credit.
Yeah.
Did he won a Vezina?
I don't think he did. No.
No, surely. Surely he won one.
You know the Canucks are still paying a salary.
That's awesome. Excuse me, 6-7. He's getting 6.7 million too.
I don't know if he's still. I think he actually is still getting that. The Canucks are paying some of that, and Florida's still paying some of that. He won a gold medal in 2010, by the way.
Dabernack awards and achievements. He did not win a Vezina.
No, he didn't.
That's a William and
Jennings. The Jennings is like the statistically best goalie.
So how do you win that and not win the fucking Vezina?
The Vezina is voted on.
How do you win statistically better? Wow, that's shocking.
Yeah, hockey awards are stupid. By the way,
the whole thing's stupid.
Other thing I wanted to ask you, whose jersey did you prefer, the Canucks or the Bruins jerseys?
Canucks.
You
like definitely better looking jersey.
Better looking jersey. The Bruins, there's a lot of stuff going on, like with the stripes at the top and then at the bottom.
Yeah, it's black and yellow, not the nicest of colors.
Okay.
Plus, they don't have a fucking whale on them, do they? Or a logger.
Is Finn your favorite mascot?
Sorry, what?
Is Finn your favorite mascot?
It'd have to be Youppi.
Youppi? Youppi, that's a good one.
Youppi.
Youppi rocks.
Yeah. I think they should bring back the whale. They aren't going to be able to have the loggers much longer with all this old growth conversation going about. They'll probably have to scratch that.
Finn's still at games.
That'd be awesome if they had a logo with like a logger just cutting down, like in the act of cutting down a tree. What is it, Johnny Canuck? That's what he's called.
Yes, but like they actually have Finn. Finn's actually still banging a drum. Like,
no, but I mean, like they should go back to those really disgusting jerseys everyone hates with like the dark blue and.
Those ones.
Yeah, they tried to do like the retro jersey this year and just looked horrible.
The black one?
Yeah, they did a miserable job. But no, they tried to take the whale, redo those like late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh, the green and blue one,
yeah,
like the reverse retro. Yeah.
Those are terrible.
But you think that the logo should be just
Marcus Naslund was in his prime. Those are the jerseys I want.
Prime Marcus Naslund.
Prime Marcus Naslund.
But you think the new logo should just be a guy cutting down old growth. With specifically old growth on the tree, like just labeled old growth in Canucks colors.
Well, no, they'll have like
and then they can sell the lumber for way too much.
They'll have like a what do you call it? They'll have like some environmentalists like on the other side getting squashed by the tree. That's how you'll know it's old growth. They'll be chained to the tree and then just get crushed.
Again, go back to what we were talking about. The Bruins won 8-1 Game 3, 2011 Stanley Cup Finals. Final thoughts, final hot takes, takeaways, notes before we sign off here.
Please don't take anything I say seriously.
Yeah, okay. I probably should have given that warning at the beginning.
Clarification.
Who do you think wins this series?
I think Brad Marchand hoists the cup, baby. Timmy fucking T.
Do you have any desire to go to Boston or see Boston?
Love to see Boston. Love to see Boston.
By the way,
to be honest with you, I don't know. I'd just like to play. I'd like to go and play chess for some of the street hustlers in Boston. You ever seen some of those guys?
Yeah, usually.
The great. What the hell's his name? The great Cardellini or whatever.
Did you see that comment that Ainge made the other day? Because Kyrie was talking about coming back to Boston. He's like, I hope there's no racist things or anything negative said it. And Ainge is like, that's really weird because I've never heard anything racist in my 25 years of being in Boston. And then everybody's just like, have you been plugging your ears for 25 years, Ainge? Like, have you ever been to Boston? I'm surprised you didn't get canceled after that one.
You said controversial stuff for a few years. It just kind of gets blown under the rug.
Yeah.
Water under the fridge.
You know what? That's episode 3 of the 2011 Stanley Cup Finals. We will have episode 4 coming out for you on June 8th.
You know, I can't believe this is the first time I've been on the podcast. You bring me on.
You're going to get on more.
I know fucking nothing about.
You're going to be on more. We're going to have you on more podcasts. We're still waiting for you to find your creative outlet with us at Sneaker Season.
You know, I think get me on when you start talking about the Jags. I'll bring up my.
Is that who you're bandwagoning for this year? Is the Jags?
Urban Meyer and Tim Tebow have done terrible, terrible things and covered it up.
But so you're not rooting for the Jags? No. Okay.
I just don't want to talk about football. I want to talk about the off the field antics. Is Tim Tebow evangelical or no? Are you sure?
This is a podcast. Thank you very much for listening and watching. We hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back again